This is the Optimal Wellness Podcast, helping you achieve optimal wellness naturally, with your host, Dr. Clifford Fetters of Health and Wellness of Carmel.
Hi, I'm Dr. Fetters.
I'm Cassidy Waters
with Health and Wellness of Carmel.
And we're so excited for the first episode of Optimal Wellness Podcast,
inspiring you to live a healthier lifestyle.
Today, we're going to be talking about how to achieve optimal wellness naturally. I think the best way to start off is to get into what exactly is functional medicine and why should we be getting into it?
Sure. Well, functional medicines gets to the root cause of symptoms and disease.
So that's great to know. I think that's the best thing, because I think when you think of traditional medicine, it's a lot of how do I treat major symptoms, and I'm not really getting to that root cause. And I'm just be getting, medication after medication. So when it comes to functional medicine, how is it that you're getting to that root cause?
Well, first with the history. When I have a new patient, I want to see all their past medical records. Anything that's important, I evaluate. Because really the root cause of most problems is actually emotional trauma, whether it's physiological or emotional, and that affects the immune system. And that's usually the root cause of almost all diseases is actually emotional.
Oh my goodness. Well, I would have never, traditional medicine, they don't really talk to you about that kind of stuff. So in what it would look like in a visit with you, are you having those discussions of you're going over that entire history with your patient, or do you just review that paperwork?
No, we really appreciate our patients that are organized and send all the medical records to us. And when people say, oh, I don't know what to send, it's like, send them all. As a physician, I can look through 100 documents very rapidly. And people don't realize before I see you for the first time, before I see your face, if you do your part, I will know more about you than you know about yourself when it comes to your health. And then my nurses are part of my team. We have 30 employees here because one person cannot make you well. It's a whole team approach for people to achieve optimal wellness. So I do the summary, then my nurses review my summary before they even see the patient.
Oh, wow.
So again, and a lot of time people think my nurses are doctors. Like, you're not the doctor, because they already know everything about this. But how do you even know this? And it's really, and I say a compliment to you. Then I thought you were the doctor. Yeah. So before I see the patient, I've seen, I know the big part of the picture, but then I need to hear from you exactly. Okay, so where are you in this journey? What's your interpretation? What are your expectations? As a doctor, I know I want you better yesterday. Sure. But not everyone's, as you know, I like to go 100 miles an hour. Yeah. But out here, if you want to go 10 miles an hour, I just want to know, okay, this is where you are. And some people just aren't even functional. I just need to function. It's like, how can I get back to work? So sometimes we do that before we have to do, maybe you have to do 10 things to achieve optimal wellness. But if you just need to get back to work, okay, what are the 3 most important things that we do? So I really need to know, what's your I know what my expectations are. I want you optimally well, but what are your expectations?
That's great to know. So it's super personalized to each person. So you could be, someone who's perfectly healthy and just wants to improve on a couple things, or you could be a super complicated patient. But really, anywhere you can start from anything.
Absolutely. I have people that know functional medicine. They've been studying it forever. That their parents were, holistic. And I have people that actually, the spouse drags them in and they don't even know the definition of functional medicine. But again, it's fun to work from any starting point.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, that's great to know. I guess another question is, so that it is functional medicine and it's so intense and personalized, why do you think people aren't getting that from the traditional experience?
Because they can't. Yeah. That's where I came from. In medical school, I there was not one mention of nutrition in all of medical school. And there was not the root cause was never discussed. We just learned diseases and how to manage diseases and how to manage it very well. But our toolbox is so small. Our toolbox is actually prescription drugs. Yeah. And obviously, surgeons, so people, when you need surgery, you need surgery. So, surgery has not changed. The specialties, emergency medicine, that's where traditional medicine thrives. But as far as prevention and holistic health and being optimally well without relying on drugs, that's where it fails. And it's just a system.
Yeah. So correct me if I'm wrong. So, getting away from prescription drugs, a lot of what the functional health field does is supplementation. And so how do supplements differ from traditional drugs?
Right. So we look at what is your nutritional deficiencies. just from regular blood chemistries, we can determine a lot from your nutritional status from just routine blood chemistries. So for you to heal, for you to be well, you have to have every bodily system working well for you. And if you're vitamin deficient, the methylation cycle and all these different cycles that keep you healthy don't function. And we need every organ system optimally well, and we know what nutrients help which organs.
Wow. Okay. So, and how are you guys testing for that? Is it all blood? Is it muscle testing? What exactly?
Yeah. Okay. You want to go to muscle testing? Okay. So that's a can of worms, but I love muscle testing. It's funny. No one knew what it was, and now some people come. I'm here to see you because you muscle test.
So muscle testing is one way you would sense if someone is deficient in something or whatever's going on, but there's also blood tests. You guys do all of that.
So be prepared. I don't have to, but I prefer 100 different blood tests. I can tell your nutrient status, every organ system. But what people don't realize, what's your germ load? People don't realize how many Hoosiers have Lyme that don't understand it. EBV, there really is a thing, is chronic mono. So what's your Epstein-Barr virus? Mycoplasma, chlamydia, pneumonia, that's important. And when we talk about disease prevention, 90% of all cancers in America is caused from the environment. Well, gee, why wouldn't you check for the environment? What in the environment causes cancer?
Right. Yeah.
And it's heavy metals, and it's the non-heavy metal toxins, like environmental toxins like Roundup, atrazine, so many industrial pollutants cause cancer, and we can check for all of them.
Yeah.
And probably I see cancer at such a young age, even in 20s and the 30s. Yeah. So really, where do you start? Maybe a 16-year-old. And I've seen kids who are organic, mom's organic, and still their pesticide levels are sky high.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, functional medicine has such a value because, everybody, because of the traditional medicine system, you have learned like, I have a headache, so I'm going to take an ibuprofen or whatever. I think too, it's, I had a tumor and I had no idea because I had all these symptoms that, were just tied to what people would just tell you to take traditional pain meds.
Yeah.
Until, getting into functional medicine, that was the first time it was like, okay, these are all the things, you need to do to see what's going on in your body.
Right.
So I definitely think there's so much value in, trying to find that root cause because, you might just be having headaches every day and you might think, I'm just dehydrated or this and that, but it could be a whole list of things.
Right. And that's a good point, for testing food allergies. I used to have the worst migraines, and to the point I couldn't even function. And then it was gluten, dairy, and soy. And I've not had a migraine in 30 years. And people don't realize that there's multiple factors that cause migraines. Actually, and heavy metals is another one, but really food allergies by far number one. Probably number two is heavy metal burden.
So can you explain a little bit what heavy metals, like what that means?
Sure. So we have all these chemical reactions that occur in our body. And one of the big things is the methylation cycle. A lot of people heard of the MTHFR mutation. Okay. So MTHFR just means that you don't break down folic acid. Without folic acid, the wheels of methylation don't work. So therefore, you don't make enough dopamine and serotonin. And that's why so many people are depressed and anxious right now, because genetically some people are predisposed. And then you can't break it down. Then you have these vitamins that are deficient. And then you can't get rid of heavy metals. When I talk about heavy metals, usually it's lead and mercury. Okay. Aluminum is a big one, antimony from plastics, but there's 20 common heavy metals that irreversibly bind to enzymes in the human body. So when they say heavy metals, they're heavy because when they come in, they don't come out.
Wow.
And people say, you can, try, obviously infrared saw is amazing, get rid of it. Mm-hmm. There's some supplements, but really if it's high and you want better, faster than you do IV chelation. And that's when they say, get the lead out. It's like in World War II, these guys were petting lead ships and the guys that were genetically susceptible with the mutations, they couldn't even walk. They get the lead out, then they had the IV chelation, and 10 days later, they're back, hopefully not painting the ships with lead.
Oh my gosh,
which, in the military, we're not sure, but they would do other things.
Oh my goodness.
So it's just a simple, it is an IV. We do for 90 minutes, and then we check your urine for 6 hours. And that really is called a provocation test. And usually we see lead, from leaded gasoline and lead paint, but it's just in our environment. It's still used in many applications. And then mercury, America runs on coal. And coal, when it's released, it's mercury. Dentists used to use a lot of mercury, and now it's just in our environment.
Oh my gosh. So that is tied to the same thing as when you come in for a visit, if you muscle test that or you do a blood test, you're going to do a full blood panel, all those things to check for nutrition deficiencies, if they need chelation, things like that.
Right. And that's a good point for people where they're on a budget. If you have insurance, blood test, or insurance companies usually are really good about paying for routine blood tests. But that's the beauty of muscle testing. I've had people come for Lyme disease and they don't have much money. Well, the testing for Lyme disease can be $1,000 or $2,000, but the treatments can be less than $1,000.
Yeah.
So I can do muscle tests. I do muscle testing for heavy metals. And so we can just do the treatments and avoid. I love science. I am a scientist in my heart. And so I love blood tests. I love data. I love to show that it gets better. But if cost is an issue, as long as people, the basic blood chemistry is normal, they're feeling 100%, then we don't have to do, thousands of dollars worth of tests.
Can you give me a quick just overview of exactly what muscle testing is for someone that has no idea?
We are electrical beings. We're full of electricity. And if something interferes with your electromagnetic field, it will weaken you. So if you have the MTHFR mutation, which means you can't break down folic acid, and I have you hold folic acid, it will weaken your body. So I will just check your strength, and people are just amazing. Even a Colts player, he's 10 times stronger than me, and his arm goes down, and he's like, I'm not cheating, and they go, how can that happen? And it is just because everything vibrates a unique frequency, and your body has electromagnetic sensors. So if something's bad for you, your body lets you know. But you can tap in. I tap into it, but I can teach people to tap in. As Dr. Weber's one of the best muscle testers on the planet Earth, and he's taught me pretty much everything I know. But we can teach our patients it also.
Do you want to do a demonstration?
I'll can muscle test all day long.
All right. Well, why don't you go ahead and do a demonstration on me so we can show what this actually looks like.
Well, first off, as long as you're in polarity, I can muscle test you. So if you're not in polarity, unfortunately, and I hate some of my employees, but I've got ways to correct this. So do you have a good shoulder? I can press against you. Okay, so hold strong, hold strong, hold strong. You're out of polarity.
Oh, no.
Okay, but here's, so you're an electrical being. Electricity's going down your spine. It's coming out to your fingers. So we're electrical beings. Mm-hmm. So your heart's a vortex. Your heart has all this mineral going through in this direction. So you have all these electrons go around your body. So if I mess with them, so my energy's with you, I'm going to take my energy, just like when we're doing karate, that sensei, you got to do as fast as you can. Watch what I do. You're like this. I go like this. Is that crazy? Or this is even better. That's why someone's really strong, and then you just start doing this.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm just barely pressing.
Yeah.
Oh. So I can use any substance and do that, but really what Dr. Weber taught us and the people that do this at the highest level, it's in your mind. Yeah. Your mind, it goes, just like what's quantum physics, the energy of the universe. Okay. Yeah. So we're tapping into that. We love Jerry Tennant. He's the master of reducing. We have the human battery recharger, the Tennant, and you need to.
I need a Tennant. I need a recharge.
You have it right there. You got to get juiced up. Your energy's low, and we have it here for free for you.
Oh, that's good to know.
You need to do that.
Need that energy up. It is January, so
actually, while you're on the substance, okay. So why are you number one? COVID was the most stressful time on the planet Earth.
Definitely.
So usually 5% of my patients were out of polarity. Now 50% of our patients are out of polarity. You cannot heal. When you don't have the electrical current in every cell of your body, you cannot heal. So that's one of the most important things we've done. I've had people, I couldn't find anything wrong with them other than out of polarity. And I juiced them up and they come back, 3 months later, I'm back to normal until I find.
Yeah.
So what holds your electricity? Thyroid. Your thyroid has to be perfect. Iodine, I believe every woman should take iodine. Probably everyone should. We're under stress. What happens when you're under stress? You don't produce enough hydrochloric acid because you're in the fight or flight mode. So therefore, Gastromax or any betaine Pepsi, you need hydrochloric acid in your body. To make hydrochloric acid, you need water, you need sodium, you need chloride, and zinc is super important. And then those three things are probably the main things that help you hold the electricity.
Wow.
Okay. And make sure you're sleeping, obviously the normal health style that we talk about.
Yeah. So going into supplementation, what would you say the basic 4 or 5 for just the person who just wants to get started in functional medicine? What supplements should they be taking?
I call it the immune pack. Number one is vitamin D. You need to do vitamin D. Once you're on it for 6 weeks, you have to check your calcium level and vitamin D level. It reduces disease so much. children with type 1 diabetes, if they're on vitamin D, there's a 600% reduction that they'll ever develop diabetes. And the research on vitamin D is just incredible.
Yeah.
Number 2 is a multivitamin. We love our Immune Pro. It was designed just to help people with immunodeficiencies. But now everyone has, the immune system isn't strong enough. So I just use it as my multivitamin, Immune Pro. So for someone like me that's very active, I take 2 twice a day. The average person probably could get away with 1 twice a day, but I do that. Vitamin C.
Yeah.
Linus Pauling did so much research on the benefits of vitamin C. And, again, for people that aren't like me, if you want to just do 1,000 twice daily, but if you really want to get the maximum benefit, up to 3,000 milligrams twice a day. And probiotics, you have to have a healthy gut.
Yeah.
And most people don't. And just one good probiotic, GIH is our favorite, but there are many healthy germs in a pill to keep your gut healthy is very, very important.
That's perfect. Well, we will have that in the caption for you guys so you guys can see that. We also want to let you know that every month we will be running a promo on a certain group of supplements. So the big thing obviously in January is New Year's resolutions. People want to get healthy. They want to make changes to their lives. We also just want to say you can get healthy whenever you want, not just January. But the biggest thing is it's 25% off this month. January is going to be kind of our New Year's wellness, overall fitness and performance supplements. So that includes green tea extract, creatine, perfect aminos, reds, greens, ElectroPro, glycosamine plus, collagen, NutriClear Cleanse, and L-carnitine. Try to say that 5 times fast. So that's just this month. Other than that, I think we're all good here. Is there anything else you want to add?
No, it's like start the journey.
Yeah.
Gosh, almost 100% of people come back. We try and make it as easy as possible. We can do telehealth if we want to. And there's really no excuse not to be healthy.
Thank you for listening to the Optimal Wellness Podcast. Subscribe now to get monthly episodes to help you achieve your wellness goals. And if you'd like to learn how we can help, schedule an appointment at Health and Wellness of Carmel today. Just go to HWOFC.com or call 317-663-7123.